So COD is not your favorite.
Call
And
of Duty?
and you're starting to say something about the corporatization.
The corporatization and the Fortniteification.
Yes.
Yeah, I've accepted it or something, but there's a certain level where you have to understand what's going on to really understand if a game is marketed in a certain way or if it's actually good. Because you'll have so much. You know how with art and really anything going on, there's a format that works. First, it's invented basically. Then there's a format that works. Then there's the adapters and all this kind of fucking marketing mumbo jumbo shit that you can probably figure out what it's going to be, right? So with the same thing with Fortnite and the Fortniteification of it all, is that something works for one game, Fortnite, which was first a PvE game. You're playing just a generic zombie game. It's nothing special. But because Battle Royales were such a big hit, they did what Battlefield at the time did, but that really fucking died. Call of Duty did as well with Warzone, and Fortnite with, hey, we're gonna make a Battle Royale out of this game, and that just worked because it was the first one that was doing that specific thing where you have third person and you're just doing silly shit. Like you have silly mechanics that the other games don't have. And that works. But then Fortnite becomes so huge because they are using, in their company, they just thought, fuck it, let's just think of ways to even make it more engaging. So they started doing battle passes. Like battle passes is a big Fortniteification of something. And then of course the Zoomer skins that we talked about. Like that type of shit.
So a battle pass, that's when you buy, let's say, specific upgrades and skins and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like every season-ish, you have like a new battle pass or something of the sort?
A battle pass is basically if we agree that, well, okay, so you play a game, and it's, in this case, free to play. 9 out of 10 times it's a free to play game. And then you pay $10 to get the privilege to be able to grind for something and earn something, right? Like skins.
Yeah.
So that takes you like 10 hours. So not only did you pay $10, but also 10 hours of in-game time to figure something out to get an item.
But do you get ahead though? Can you, let's say...
it's all cosmetic.
So it's all cosmetics. If there's no skills involved or any special weapons or whatever that you get, upgrades that you would not otherwise get.
No, that's Warzone that you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
They fucked it all up. So that they basically did that. They copy pasted that same format, but then they thought a more corporate mindset, where you're
those who pay get ahead, basically.
Yeah. Because you can say, okay, you can buy a battle pass for $10, and then you have to grind, let's say, I don't know, 40 hours to get the last level, like the last reward, which is the most, like the best gun that you have in the game.
Yeah.
So people are just gonna buy it for, like, they're gonna buy the levels for $40, for instance, instead of grinding for 40 hours. Does it make sense?
Yeah. So it's kind of like a shortcut.
Shortcut, yeah. So it becomes like a pay to win thing.
Yeah. So it's basically like paying to win or paying to skip the line. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. But you can do it in a fun way, where if it's a good game and you like Deep Rock Galactic does that. I don't know if you've ever heard about that game.
No.
One of the best games out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you play with your homies, your dwarves, you're underground, and you basically scream a lot when spiders come your way and stuff, and then you just try to...
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it is. Whenever you hit gold, there's a lot of minerals, but whenever you hit gold, there's like an automatic reaction from all the dwarves.
Yeah.
They say, we're rich.
Okay.
It's funny.
Well,
They have a battle pass as well.
I guess I need to be there to see it.
Yeah.
To appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have been there type of moment. You get it.
The guy's back.
Oh. Thanks, dude.
Thank you, Broom guy.
Thanks, bro.
Okay.
Dude, he's a wild dude. He's a wild dude.
Yeah.
Is he your neighbor?
Oh, absolutely no idea. It's the first time I see the guy.
It's not gonna be the last.
Probably not.
You know, at the end of the day, do you think that if that broom, it's like a glass door, right? If that broom would have been on the other side of the door, do you think that he would knock on the door and ask, hey guys, I see you guys have a broom inside of your studio. You mind if I lend it?
Probably not in these fine words.
No?
No, I mean, we probably would have.
What would he? How would he have done it?
I don't know. Maybe less politely, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, maybe not less polite, but in fewer words.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like what?
May I borrow your broom or something?
No, I would say, hey, fine gentlemen. That's how I think
Yeah.
he would do it. Greetings, fine gentlemen. I understand you guys are busy talking about whatever this is. May I have this broom for just 15 short minutes? So, and then he has a posh accent. Sir? I think so. Dude, that's a wild thing. You know what it is though with these people? This guy even has a vest on. Bro, they're cleaning the whole street.
Yeah, it's official. If you got a vest, then it's official.
Then it's official.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's also dude, he got like the he got a broom. He read the memo. But he also has the broom and then the bucket that's on the street. You know why he did that? You know why he did it with that type of malice, the type of aggressive, like.
Tell me.
He's doing this with his group of friends, right? That all share the same chromosome. Just fucking with it. And they are feeling better than all of us in this street right now.
Probably.
Yeah, that's what's up. They think we're doing you a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Lend me the broom.
That's sounds about right. Sounds about right.
I feel like I'm losing you, dude. You good?
Yeah. Pretty good.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. You just kind of like my ADHD is all over the place now. I'm thinking about the guy.
What are you thinking about right now?
Sorry.
What are you thinking about right now?
Yeah. How to get back on track, and I lost my train of thought. Yeah. So we said, yeah, how Call of Duty fucked things up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Talking about fucking things up. What's your take on Ubisoft?
Oh, dude! I just got like a beautiful PR box from them, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
They gave me like some good shit. They pampered me real good, so I would not be as blunt with my review. They really did. They did a good effort. Good effort.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny about that though?
Tell me.
Even though that I got a nice box of nice little goodies, I did see other creators that had even better goodies.
Oh.
Makes me feel bad about myself. Makes me feel like a...
What did I say again? Like comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah, but if it's Ubisoft doing it,
yeah,
so
you're not equally valued.
No. It's a different story, dude.
So you can still be honest about your opinions.
What do you mean? The opinion of the game?
Of the games and let's say the latest games. I mean
Look, I've been very open to this with anyone, anywhere. I'm very consistent with this. I don't want to lie any moment. I don't want to be one of those. If I do this thing where I'm like known for bullshit online,
then you lose any credibility, right?
What do you mean? Huh?
No, like if you just, let's say, if you're getting goodies from company X or Y or Z, and then you just kind of like only praise what they're doing, then you will not be credible in the eyes of whoever is watching you, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you lose the credibility, you lose the viewers, and then the game is lost. Anyway.
Yes. No, it's true. But that's the thing. If I do this bullshit online and I'm known for, being the funny clown man about video games, I want to be consistent with my criticisms, so to say.
Yeah.
But also with how I basically do my business and my relationships with developers. So I have in every single moment of talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows, I have said that I am shilling hard at this point. But shilling means like not in a way of selling the game to you, but just pampering it just a tiny bit less, more, being a little less hard on them.
Yeah.
Because I just see it in the horizon. I see the trip to Thailand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I gotta keep the beast calm. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I played it for a few hours, and I mean, there's no way of avoiding comparing it with Ghost of Tsushima, right? I mean, which was an amazing game. I think came out like in 2019, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm no expert, but visually, I think Assassin's Creed Shadows was amazing. But the mechanics felt a bit clunky.
Where have you played this?
Like on PS5.
At home.
Yeah.
Did you buy it?
Yeah.
Feel so bad for you, dude.
Well,
Should have seen my review.
well.
It was released on time. It was released on time. Have you played it? No? Good for you. Good for you. It's I said it before and I'll say it again. It's a peanut butter sandwich of a game.
So it's
a
just
good peanut butter sandwich. It's not like if you compare it to a lunch, it's not. I don't know.
It's not fully satisfying, but it does what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So like it satisfies the hunger, but it's not gonna give you a lot of pleasure.
A good 7 out of 10, like just about a 7 out of 10.
But it's
That's
also considered like a AAA, right? Or supposedly.
Yeah. But for what it is, like in the reality of things, like if you just play the game like a gamer and you don't think about any influences in politics and whatever the fuck, and you play the game, it's a 7 out of 10. You know?
Sounds about right.
If you talk about a company that's been around for longer than I'm on this planet, and they have good IPs, and they just fuck it up the way they do, and then let's just say the game doesn't exist. Like, let's just not talk about it. You know what I mean? Because it's not worth it.
Any expectations for a game like Ghost of Yote, for instance?
I have not played the first one, bro.
No, you haven't?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No.
If you like single player games, it's a really good one.
Yeah, so I've been burned out on FPS games and online games and like competitive stuff for like the last 5 years ago, and then I started to shift to single player games. Yeah, and now 4 years later, 4 years later, I still haven't played remotely all of these genres of single player, but I kind of feel like, man, I want to just fuck around with real people again in an online world, So now, like really now is the switching point. I've tried, I've done the whole Elden Ring thing, and then I played Kazan, which is like Elden Ring, but it's more like Wukong than anything because Wukong was also compared to whatever. But then I just realized, man, fuck, we're doing the same thing again. Okay, it's just getting old, Yeah. It's a good game. It's a good game
you're referring to right now.
Yeah, Kazan.
Yeah.
It's a good game. It's really a good game. It's like
is that kind of like the anime version of Elden Ring, right?
Yeah. But then with like slightly different mechanics and shit. It's the hardcore fans are
Elden
gonna.
Ring, and I had no clue what the hell I was doing for, I don't know, 10 hours.
Oh, I get it.
And then I give up.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, maybe I'll pick it up another time when I have more time on my hands.
Yeah.
Because this was just. It was all over the place.
No, Elden Ring is something that has to click with you. You got to understand, oh shit, this is a open world game, but it
was too open.
Huh?
It was too open.
Too open,
where am I supposed to go left? Am I supposed to go right? Then there was this massive guy on the horse that killed me as soon as I entered the world. I was like, am I supposed to beat this guy? Like, what the hell?
No, that's the beauty of it all. That it's like a philosophical thing about it, and everyone that plays the game and understands the game.
Yeah.
So there's a moment where it clicks. The moment that it clicks is when you, just like with any really art form, like you could be a fan of a movie director, that when it clicks, you kind of understand what's the name of the guy with the hotel and the color grading and stuff, Budapest Hotel or something. What's his name?
Yeah, I think I know who you mean.
What's his name?
I can't recall.
You know his name, man. Mr. Fox is where they go. Is also a movie of him where they have like puppets of a fox and stuff. Anderson, Sam Anderson? No, what's his name again, man?
I'm not
shit.
With,
anyways,
I know who you're referring to.
All his movies kind of have the same vibe and the same tone of voice. It's like an indie. You're watching an indie movie, but something is a little like something in the core content of it is always the same.
Yeah. And
it's a specific, like a vibe, like a feeling. And you can say that's a style choice, right? And that's where opinions are going to be different. And if you have like a big group of people, Wes Anderson, that's his fuck.
Yeah,
that's
Wes
his name.
Anderson. Yeah.
So Wes Anderson. A lot of people that love movies love him, like really love his style. But he's not going to be the one that's going to compete with, I don't know, Fast and the Furious for the 50th time, right?
Yeah.
Because that's something that's so broad and understandable and just makes sense. Elden Ring is kind of like a Wes Anderson movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it clicks, when you understand, oh, that's why that's weird. Oh, wait. No, that makes sense. Where someone else that doesn't know that only watches mainstream shit, will tell you, what the fuck? Why is that guy? What's up with this? You know?
Yeah.
Won't understand it, even though he's watched the same movie. It's got to click.
So it's part of like whether you're initiated in that world and you're able to, let's say, understand the different intricacies of it, right?
Mm-hmm. It feels like you're a part of something, which that's the reason, I believe. I'm not a fucking philosopher, but I think that's the reason why people care so much about it and they hold on to it and they tell you how to play the game, even though it's fucking single player. Like, dude, that's the craziest thing ever. If someone tells you how to play a single player game, it's like, I'm going to tell you how to wipe your ass. It makes no fucking sense at all.
Yeah, you should play it the way you see fit, right?
Exactly.
So that's,
But that's the...
And that's how you're trolling people. You're playing on that emotion.
Yeah. You know that's a thing that people... Let's say that's like an underlying feeling that people definitely know about. Yeah. They know about it, but they don't know how to express it. They don't have someone that will express it for them, like that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like if you're talking about how I, how I make my content is basically that point, that little like aspect of a game. So for me, it's not really about the games in general and the frustrations or whatever the fuck, like anything that happens. It's just that, for instance, what you just said was that one first boss, right? Mm-hmm. That's an underlying feeling for a lot of people, but pretty mainstream. Does it make sense? Like, and that's when I'm gonna know, okay, if I make a video about this is gonna touch a lot of people.
Are you supposed to like kill that guy right away though?
No, you're not.
Okay.
That's the whole thing. You're supposed to, skip him. That's like the philosophical thing about it, where you kind of accept, I'm too weak for this. I choose to skip this instead of a level being designed for you. Like, hey, this is something you should be able to do. Yeah. Then it's like, no, this is totally not something you're supposed to be able to do. You should skip this and come back later.
It's quite an interesting one, because if you think about a lot of, let's say, human psychology about, let's say, progression and how you, let's say, progress in life, and whether you do sports or anything of the sort. So in order for people to be determined and stay on track, in a progressive track, you need to be motivated by a challenge, right? So let's say if you play a video game, you play it in God mode, for instance, then, okay, it's fun for 10 minutes, then you're not interested. Why? Because it's not challenging enough, right? Mm-hmm. So with challenges, you want to have something which is challenging enough, but still that you're able to overcome it.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Yeah, and this kind of like, I guess, throws this out of the window in a way, because there's no way for you to overcome this first boss. You just need to skip that challenge and come back another time, which is quite an interesting thought. Yeah,
that's exactly right. But the thing is that even about that, you could say it is possible, but you just need to really. At the end of the day, what it is, it's like all these Souls-like games. They're just it's just like Dance Dance Revolution, really. You just got to hit the right spot, and it's always the same dance. Mm-hmm. Every boss has their own dance.
Yeah,
you're doing the tango with this guy, and you're doing some Fortnite dance with the other, right? It doesn't. Yeah. It's whatever.
So is it that the fact that you need to so each boss has got, let's say, specific actions, and then you kind of need to learn their let's say choreography, if I want to use that dance metaphor. So then you need to know, okay, at that moment you need to step back to avoid that hit, and then you kind of counter it. And
that's exactly what it is. Okay. So that's the thing. So if to give it some context on why I'm bringing this up, I think it's interesting if anyone that hears this cares about how I created content that kind of really fucking sent people off to like, oh shit, that does something with me. Yeah. Even though they're scrolling on their phone in the toilet or whatever, right? Like, let's be fair, that's just the reality of things, right? Is that thing that you just mentioned, where a boss does a specific move and they always do the same move. And if the thing is, if you know, oh wait, he does that move because that animation, and he winds up this way, and then does that like specific move, then you know how to counter that. But the one like bare bone, the core idea of the game is that you have a hit and you have a dodge roll, right? And if you dodge roll at the moment that he hits, and he doesn't hit, then you can hit, right?
Yeah.
That's basically the whole game in a nutshell.
The super basic mechanics.
Super basic, but it gets very complicated.
Yeah.
But the game, without any mods or cheats, also offers a helping like ghost, you know, like a twin that's still in the game, so that's legal. I can use that. I can just put him, fight the boss. Just go fight the boss. I'm going to stand in the corner and just chill. And then you have a bow and arrow or some magic pebbles or some shit, which is also not a cheat. So you can also play it like that.
I had that. I think I had like 3 wolves or something.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was like a little army of skeletons or something that I could.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Those are all ashes of war.
Yeah.
But that, if you think about it, how I see it is you have a job and you have colleagues that do the same job, but you don't you're not connected with each other. You just do the same job, right? And then I do something that works, that's legal, perfectly fine. I can do that. You can also do that. Yeah. But you choose, this is something that boomers will do, like, you know, like generations will not adapt to the new wave of things. That's what this feels with these types of games. So I do something in a way that's more efficient and easier, and I beat the boss, and they'll tell me, no, that's not fair. No, you use an email, you should send a letter because that's the way it's supposed to be, and then you have to wait 5 days.
You could eat a bowl of spaghetti, and you can just use a fork or a spoon or chopsticks.
I guess so.
And there is no, I mean, the easier perhaps is a fork, but then you can also use it with a spoon as well. It's harder and it will take longer. So is that like a parallel analogy somehow?
No, if you look at it in a philosophical way where you can actually, I've really thought about it like this, where it's like a fax machine, and then the email is invented, you know, and before that it was just letters. So you send someone a letter, and then the next generation invents the fax machine. And they're like, no, you're not supposed to send a fax machine. What do you mean, dude? You know, and they're like, okay, we're gonna use fax machines now, and everyone adapts, and everyone accepts it. It's like it's just normal evolution of gameplay, but it's in a game like that, it's just a choice because it's single player. So who gives a shit?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking matter. It's interesting
how people get outraged about these things.
Oh yeah, people get really mad. I expected people to really get mad all the time, and I really expect when I because it was the DLC that came out, and then I thought, okay, I'm going to make content on this game, and I was very just like anyone else, just thinking, okay, I'm gonna talk about, you know, the simple things like, okay, how I beat the boss or whatever. But then I played it and I was already fed up. I just saw how it's gonna go, that I'm gonna actually not have fun trying to beat these bosses the way it's supposed to be. So then I just started to, you know, not cheat, but optimize, you know? And that's when I made videos about, fuck you guys. This is an easy game. Look at this. It's perfectly legal. It's fine. And I really expected people to hate me. I really did. But I barely had any haters for the whole, like, for the next 3 months or something.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So there's hope.
For what?
For humanity.
For humanity? I guess so. I think there's a certain amount of slack people will have if they're frustrated enough, because you will have a lot of people that have seen my shit and they really, sometimes they send me DMs, and these are DMs that, you know, sometimes are snowed under, you know, a lot of DMs, so I don't see them up until, like, I don't know, a month later or something, when I just like decide, oh, let me check what's up here outside of the spam and bullshit. And then you'll have people that are really going, or in the comments just saying, hey man, because you didn't give a shit, I actually picked up the game again and also didn't give a shit. You showed me a different way of playing the game instead of just dodge rolling and doing it the right way, like a real man. You know. So it's like playing like a pussy.
So what kind of character do you use?
There's no specific
Isn't it
characters.
like some characters like with like a witch and a warrior and whatever and like I think when you first start a game, there are different characters with different kind of advantages. And
Bro, I'll use anything that's easy. I'll just take the easiest route. Anything. So for me, it was just basically.
I think there's a samurai and then there's a warrior and then
yeah, that's the cool shit. That's the anime shit. That's the shit that makes you feel cool. But I don't do the cool shit.
No.
I just do the thing that works.
Okay.
And that's
which is like a sorcerer or
sorcerer. Yeah. Just level up your little robot guy. You know, like the ghost.
Yeah.
The mimic tier. And that's it. You just let him do the job.
Cool.
Basically, like a.
Maybe I'll pick it up again with the sorcerer.
Yeah, it's like cuckold
you
behavior.
It's easy, so I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Cool. And how come do you, let's say, stream about these games? And let's say you're more of a fan of shooters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So does this feel like work to you? Or is it still fun in a way?
Dude, the Elden Ring stuff it's officially become work. Yeah, I just don't have any fun with it anymore. Okay. I'll be fair. So that's why I'm not playing it anymore. Yeah, I tried, but I bought it. You know, thought okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed to do. That's the creative fucked up thing, dude. You know, I want to be the funny clown guy. You know, I don't want to necessarily be the dude that plays. I don't know, fucking Souls games or something. So that's the double-edged sword of this type of business. You know,
you're kind of like trapped in the genre, then you feel like you're
yeah. But you got to milk it out in a way where you kind of still are okay. It's more like being okay with it. You know, if you get a lot of views, like woo type of views on shit that you kind of like but don't really love, you know, then that's cool. You can actually. I feel like anyone should actually do that because it's just kind of dumb and untactical to not take that chance, right? But there comes a point where it's like, fuck, man, I'm just Jesus Christ. It's just, and also the views are just not there. For instance, right? The interest, because views are not really. Then do you think what's more important, a lot of views or just a good amount of views? Do you want more?
That's a good question. I think, I think definitely not more at any cost, right? So, perhaps a good amount of views. But then again, it depends. I mean, if you're making a living out of it or not, you know? So, I mean, there's a lot of... if you're making a living out of it, then there are different calculations which are at stake. So I don't know. You need to pay your mortgage, right? You need to think about your next vacations, perhaps. I don't know. So if there is a financial incentive, sometimes it might direct your choices somehow. But then to what extent? So it's all about finding the right balance. And I would not necessarily say there is. I think it's an individual decision by the end of it. There's no right or wrong. So, I mean, some people do a job that they hate for the rest of their life. I was working like that for a while in a corporate job where I was hating myself, you know, and then I decided to quit
and do this, right?
Yeah, amongst other things, but this is one of those things.
Yeah, but that's good. That's good shit. Yeah, I think with the views amount and stuff, it's very easy to say more better. But I don't think that that's the case, especially not if you're doing something creative. You're doing something creative in the sense that you know you're not selling a product right now. You're not pushing a fucking course on how to make money with a passive income and fucking whatever the fuck that. Yeah,
so you're basically like selling who you are, or let's say showing who you are, perhaps. Yeah.
But
and then if you're deviating just because of the views of who you are, then you're kind of losing yourself.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Well put. Exactly. Exactamundo. But I also do think that it's good to force yourself to stay in a specific format or a show or whatever. If that's, but that has to be the thing. It has to be the thing that people want, and you are basically more than okay with to be a part of or be the creator of, and also kind of know that this has to change. Like being healthy about it, basically. It's like the longevity thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like the goals that you have on whatever the fuck you do, really, at any time, but especially if you make something, have to be very clear every time. But it's fucking easy to lose yourself in this shit, man.
I mean, you have it sometimes with these kind of like one-hit wonders, especially like in the music industry or something. Like, okay, you make this one song and then it explodes and you become super popular. But then you have these people for the rest of their career, so trying to emulate that one recipe that got that first. And then you're always chasing the dragon in a way, and you'll never kind of do it again.
Exactly.
And then you'll just be that one hit that everybody knows. Nobody knows the name of the band or the artist.
No, it's true.
Yeah, so, and I think that's when you kind of are more trying to please the audience rather than being or staying true to yourself, right? Yeah.
But that's exactly the way it is. And if you have caught a dragon for a second, right? If you got viral in anything you do, could be a fucking TV show. It doesn't matter. It's not just online. It's anything or music or anything. And you catch that, and if you can do it again, like let's say the next day you can do it again, that's cool. Now you know what works and what works really well. But the thing is, if you a lot of the more people you get, the more varied the audience is going to be, right? And if you keep giving that, then you become a product, so to say. If you do something creative, you become a product rather than a creative, like, free will. Because if you start to do some creative good shit and you just think about it, fuck it all, dude, I'm just gonna do this thing that I think would but you gotta really know that it's good for yourself. That makes sense then to do. But let's say you have 1 million views on something that goes that pops out viral as fuck, and then you do something that doesn't, it's not gonna get a lot of views, but it's, let's say in my case, it's just, I know it's funny as fuck. I just know it's really hilarious, but it's kind of niche. It's whatever. And it gets like 10,000 views, which in my case is like TikTok views. Yeah. It's like, okay, I could have gotten 1 million. I could have put some time into, if you think about it like a corporate mindset, like a grind set, like a fucking, like
Mr. Beast style.
Mr. Beast style,
Optimizing every second. Try to grab the attention at all costs in this.
If you do some freelance stuff, that all these prices that people are going to put out, like, oh man, you're going to earn like $100 an hour. Now you just earned 10,000 views in one day. Well, what the fuck is that? But the thing is, you make that, you're proud of it. I'm proud of a video like that. And from those 10,000 people, let's say there's only going to be like 10%. Let's say fucking just 10 people that are really going to think this shit is fucking hilarious, dude. That's 10 people that really think you're hilarious instead of 1 million people that think, oh yeah, that was a funny thing you talked about, but they don't know who you are or what your name is.
So it's about, let's say, taking the longer route.
I guess so, yeah.
And then you get like some more of a solid base of followers, of people that are really interested in what you have to say, that find you funny, and rather than kind of like just catering to a wide audience that doesn't really care. And maybe they would smile, they would look at your content and like, oh yeah, this is interesting, but then on to the next, right?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is if you try to make some creative, it's longevity, exactly what you say, like the long run, the marathon, longevity, and wanting to wake up in the morning, dude. Like, what the fuck, man? If you just made, honestly, I've had a moment where I was used to getting 500,000 views on a video. I was getting used to it. I wake up in the morning like, yeah, guess I'm gonna talk about a fucking Elden Ring boss again today. Oh, fuck it. And it becomes a format. It becomes boring. It becomes, So that's just not it.
And you see yourself like breaking out of that now?
I feel like I'm at a dip at this moment.
Yeah.
Like I'm like at the bottom of what I have now. And if I just stay myself, if I don't act like a idiot, which is, well, in my way as an idiot, but if I just keep doing me, then I have now a stable community, like a real stable community from all that crazy shit that happened, all the viral stuff. So yeah, I mean, I kind of broke out of it. Yeah.
Do you see yourself, let's say, I don't know, like streaming shooters instead, or like going like completely?
Yeah, that's what I'm going for right now. I just have to accept. You see some other people doing the same thing you do. I'll see other streamers, and I'm like, fuck, man. Like, and honestly, I'm in a way competitive, not really competitive, where I'm like, I'm gonna beat this guy at the same job or something. But I am competitive in a way of like, fuck. I mean, if this guy can get so much attention and shit, and like, what the fuck, dude? Like, then I can definitely, like, what the fuck is this shit? You know what I mean? Like, I'm competitive in that way, sort of toxic and overanalyzing in a sense.
I mean, I guess it's needed to a certain extent.
I guess so too. Yeah. But I look at that and I think, wait, hold on. I lost why I brought this up, dude.
About, say, switching to potentially shooters instead of what you're doing, let's say, with Elden Ring and the Souls kind of games.
Yeah, I don't know anymore, dude. Something about community and shit. I kind of lost it. Sorry.
Do you want to say something perhaps in the likes of, you would like to, you might perhaps lose some viewers and the potential, in the journey of maybe doing something slightly different? Or is it more the comparison with other streamers that are doing something different?
Oh, like that. Okay, yeah. I got it again. Thanks, dude. Okay. So, I will compare myself a lot. Like I would say, like any other human being would compare themselves to someone else, and I would really look at it and be like, man, I could do that better than this guy or whatever. But the one thing that I'm not, and I just have to accept. You just have to accept that shit. I cannot stay consistent like all these other people are. Consistent in a way of playing one game for 5 years or something for like fucking 8 hours a day. Like I cannot fucking do that shit.
Yeah.
I'll go fucking insane, dude. Even if it's a game, at that point, it's like classic conversation of, well, then it becomes your job, But really, it's just, I feel like I need to do a lot of like a variety of some fucking weird shit. It's like a loose cannon type of creativity thing, and it's hard to tame.
I mean, it's nice if you're able to kind of pull your community into a different genre as well, right? I mean, taking them on for the ride. I mean, if they're like you for who you are, for instance, then, and for your content that you're creating, and not necessarily only for the game, then perhaps they would want to join you on that journey into a different world, perhaps, and a different way of approaching it.
Yes.
Or do you think that it's more too static for that?
No, you're 100% right. It's just with my I like okay. So look, terminology wise and shit, and just thought process. I love marketing.
Yeah.
Like the ideas of marketing, and if it's done well and not so you sell crap, but you sell some good shit, and then how do you do it the right way? My funnel for the viewer experience, how someone becomes a fan, so to say, is they scroll on the toilet or they doom scroll in bed, at like 3 a.m. To make that person a fan is mission impossible, dude. If I have to sell them a fucking Stanley Cup, that's fucking easy. Name me one person that from the Stanley Cup hype that was fun to watch. Do you memorize anyone? Anyone name?
No.
But do you remember the Stanley Cup selling a product is fucking easy. But
I wouldn't say easy, but easier.
Compared to everything, like in the idea of engagement online, getting someone to be interested and fantasize about having a product and shit is so much easier than making them a fan of someone. Making them a fan of someone has to have, and this sounds like philosophical and shitty and whatever, but if your frontal lobe has already developed, so you're like 25 plus, which I want as a community, and I want them to become a fan of me, and that being a true connection, like a real thing, like some parasocial shit, but like they actually understand, oh shit, I kind of vibe with this guy. This guy is actually funny. I understand this. Like, this is cool. That's mission impossible. That's an uphill battle. It just is. If I tell them, hey man, the Stanley Cup is pretty fucking convenient, dude. Look at that. Look at that. These people are gonna think, oh yeah, I saw a Stanley Cup before.
Yeah.
You know, then I've done my job. So getting people to enjoy a specific entertainment, like a show, is also a lot easier than getting them to actually enjoy a person.
Yeah, I mean, you need time, you need consistency.
That's right.
It's like making a friend.
It is.
Right? So
it genuinely is.
Yeah, you need to show up consistently, and you need to be likable, hitting the right chords, you know?
Exactamundo.
Yeah.
So that's the Mission Impossible shit that you have to, that I have to kind of, play with. Yeah. It's the big, that's like the double-edged sword, because I'm not like a Fortnite creator where I can just talk about Fortnite. Oh, there's a new update. Oh, guess I'm going to talk about it. It's something that I have to, from the fucking jungle in my mind, I have to think of something that interests me right now that will interest other people like me.
Yeah, so it seems like you're not interested in being like a specialist, right? Like just says, yeah, I'm only playing Age of Empires, and that's the only thing I'm doing. And then you look at some people's, let's say, YouTube channels, and then like the last 8 years have been playing the Age of Empires and all these different DLCs and Age of Empires, and also one specific kind of the Age of Empires, maybe only Age of Empires 2. And then others that have been the last 10 years, or no, maybe less. It came out fairly recently, but let's say Age of Empires 4 or whatever. And then it's all over the place. And I don't know, I can't see myself, at least, let's say, talking about and playing one game for 4 years. That's the only thing I'm doing. Only thing that I'm doing also in my personal time as well. So it's both like work and free time as well. Which leads me actually to this question, like, how do you separate, let's say, playing for fun and for work? And what else do you do in your free time when you're not gaming?
Dude, ever since it's really been popping off for me for this creator shit, I've been doing it for 10 years, man. And only the last 2 years has it been sustainable for me, where I think, oh shit, I got something that works, and I got a format, and I got like a community and whatever. So then it becomes like an actual real thing, instead of, oh, I really hope that sometimes one day it's gonna, now it's it. And then you start to realize shit like, okay, work-life balance is important, because now that I've had my sprint, or whatever the fuck you call it in coding, like a crunch time, we're just fucking making it as much as possible. Now I'm getting used to the idea. Okay, yeah, I am this now. This is my identity now, I guess.
You're not a fraud anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like the
you're not faking it. You're actually making it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That type of shit. Then it starts to do that, but it's also just, I'm 28 now, so I wouldn't say that I'm old at all. But it's not like I have only gaming stuff to do in my life now, So I started to go into the gym 3 times a week.
Cool.
And aside from that, I really prioritize seeing people. Heavily prioritize seeing people. If I don't do that, I think that would doesn't have long. It won't have longevity, doing this whole thing. Why the fuck would you do it in that case? For some online shit,
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that?
So you're really enjoying, let's say, being in the real world of opposites, let's say the virtual, like being sucked into the virtual the entire time.
Yeah, I think I find balance between the two. I'll never. It's a balance between the two for sure.
Cool.
Because I really love hanging out, like having a beer and just fucking around with some friends. That's totally fine. And I think it's healthy as well. If you don't do that, that's cooked. Yeah. If you just see one person, like my wife, if I just see my wife day in, day out, walk the dog, pet the dog, go to the PC, like it sounds like my self-made rat race in my own house, you know what I mean? It's just, that's all you fucking do.
Yeah. So you want to kind of break out of that every now and then.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But also just hearing other people's problems from friends or something. Sometimes it's a yap fest where just talk about fucking problems the whole time. Like, whatever, dude. But then you get home and you're kind of like, oh man, this thing I got is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Does that make sense?
I mean, you're literally doing every teenager's dream, by the way. Like every teenager that's interested in the video games.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to do this for a living. So do you realize that? Do you think about that?
No, I don't realize. I don't think about that. But I do think about.
I mean, most of the people that are watching you would probably love to be in your position. To like literally play video games for a living.
You know, I get that, and you're right about that. Those people definitely exist. I don't know if it's most people though. I'm not sure about that. There's something to be said about.
At least at yeah, I think I would say with quite a high level of confidence that at least teenagers, let's say when I was 15, 13, 14, whatever, if you tell me, okay, play video games for a living, I'll be like, yeah, sign me in. You know, where do I go? What do I do?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah. It's just the exact thing that I do is not playing video games for a living. You could name it that. You can romanticize it like that.
Yeah.
But that's something that, you know, dudes like streamers like, I don't know, Shroud or something do. They have, you know, respectfully, they don't have a personality really. And they just play a game. I killed him. Okay, let's go to the left side. Okay, there's a guy in the house, northwest. Okay, got him. Did you get him? Okay, copy, cool.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
And these are animals in the game. Like these are just monsters. Like you look at them because they're monsters. You don't need to, honestly, you don't really need to see their face cam. And you wouldn't mind if their mic was broken for the day, you know? Like you're just looking at, oh shit, wow, this guy is fucking awesome. Wow, dude. Is he really not using cheats? Wow, look at that. Wow. 30 kills for something that I get 3 kills for. Wow, this guy is good. Like that's playing video games for a living. Because like you don't need anything else but being good.
Like professional athlete level.
Yeah. But then you're like, entertaining. You just
and everybody kind of. I kind of read something the other day. It was quite fascinating. Is apparently most people, or at least most men, up till the age of 40, they think that becoming a professional athlete is an option.
Until 40.
Until 40. Then the kind of realization settles in, and they realize that they're too old. It's quite interesting.
Oh, hell no! Is that's a thing?
Apparently, I mean, I read this somewhere. I can't say with high level of confidence that this is scientifically accurate, but it sounds believable enough, right?
Would you say you could be a kickboxer? You could win a tournament?
I probably thought the same when I was like 34, 35. I was like, yeah, it's still an option. Yeah.
I got this. I can do it.
I got this. Yeah, if I really dedicated myself, it's definitely an option, right? So yeah. But yeah, now I think past 35, I'm like, yeah, maybe that boat has sailed, you know?
No, have you ever done like professional sports?
No, nothing professionally.
No?
Just very
semi-pro.
Not even. Like, I was maybe passionate. It was like a serious hobby level. That's the most.
And that's kickboxing?
That was kickboxing and martial arts in general, and Thai boxing, yeah.
And did you do like actual fights or just sparring?
I did a few fights, yeah.
How was that?
Was intense. But yeah, I'm happy that I had those experiences. Yeah, some were great, some were less great. But yeah, it's.
How was a fight like that? I've never done a fight. I've done some sparring here and there, but I've never done a fight.
Are you interested in having a fight? In
a fight, no. In sparring, and like a good sparring session, maybe, yeah. But fight, no.
Well, we can have a sparring session if you want.
Right here?
No, not here, but we can do it. I mean, why not?
That's a good podcast format, dude. You talk to your opponent.
And then go for a sparring session?
Yeah, after.
I actually had like a proper kickboxing guy here the other day, so I wouldn't want to spar him, I can tell you that.
But it would be funny, dude. Seeing like a heavy sparring session with a dude you just talked with for an hour.
No.
It's good. It's a good format.
Yeah,
I would watch.
And would you talk before or after?
Both. Post-fight interview. first like a serious podcast. Hey man, how you doing this, that?
Apparently there was this weird sport. I'm not sure if you can even call it sport. Well, it is kind of a sport.
Turkish wrestling.
No, it's about it's kickboxing or some kind of boxing, and so you have one round of playing kickboxing, and then the next round is chess.
Chess, yeah,
I was
chess
like,
boxing,
what the
chess boxing,
chess boxing. That's what it's called. Yeah,
yeah, dude, podcast boxing. That'd be silly. That'd be solid, bro.
yeah,
I think I'm actually down. If you ever want to try that out,
sure.
you can beat the shit out of me, and then I'm just like,
Stuff is fun though.
you ask me something, like, I don't know,
My face hurts.
I don't know, my face hurts, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, I'm sure it will be good though. Cool. Yeah.
But about the sparring thing, by the way,
Yeah.
I do really have, because I do jujitsu now,
Yeah.
3 times a week.
Cool.
The Brazilian one.
Yeah.
And most of the dudes are really chill. Most are really, but some of them, sometimes,
There are always
Like-
some idiots though.
Yeah,
There's always that doesn't know how to take it easy and
yeah. Once every 2 weeks, I would say that's like the average. Once every 2 weeks, it's always a different dude. They just spawn. They're just boom. He's right there. Like,
eventually
hey,
you'll learn to spot them though.
yeah, I guess so. Like aura, you mean? Like
Yeah.
a new dude that you don't know, and you're like, this guy's fucked up. I'm not gonna.
Maybe if there's a new dude, it's nice to let other people roll with them first.
Yeah.
So you see what they're all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then eventually, if you keep on going to the same place for a longer period of time, then you'll also like know who's the chill one, who's you can actually spar with.
Yeah, but the
You
fucked
know,
up thing, these are dudes that it happened with that don't know how to stop don't know how to chill with the sparring. Sparring is really the people that are not regulars.
Mm.
That's the thing. Oh man, I know how to deal with it. I kind of just I sense it, and I just kind of lose, but not in a theatrical way. I'm just like I just actually let go. Like you know that these guys are fed up. Like, what the fuck, man, I thought we were gonna spar. And I just step out. I was like, yeah, dude, good man. All right, peace. And then I just don't walk over there, even if I'm being called up. Like, hey man, can you just like, no, thank you. I'm being an adult about it. I'm just like, no.
Yeah, I have that sometimes at my gym, or actually most gyms, that you see people that are just complete idiots.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's say when you do sparring, we have these rounds. So you do, let's say, I don't know, 1.5, 2 minute, 3 minutes sparring round, and then you switch partner, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what, let's say, the weight class is, or if it's a dude or a woman or whatever. So, and some people, some men, they would not necessarily adjust their power, even if they're, let's say, sparring against, let's say, a 55 kilo, 160 woman,
Yeah.
And they're just complete idiots like that. So
Yeah.
these exist. I mean, I know perhaps it's less fun for you to having to adjust, but then at some point you are also the beginner guy, and there's always something that you can practice. I don't know, sometimes when I'm sparring, let's say a woman which is way smaller than me, I'm kind of like practice my defense, for instance. I'm like, okay, I can be her like moving punching bag and she can go all out, and then I can just try to defend and counter, and of course not putting my full on weight in the counters, just take it easy,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, sadly, there are some idiots, some meatheads out there that don't get that. So
Yeah, dude, that must be that's some wild, I don't know, corrupt up daddy issues and incel behavior or some shit, dude. These dudes are just listening to Joe Rogan 24/7.
Well, honestly, like, yeah,
I'm not saying everyone that listens to it. It's not. It's not that.
But Joe Rogan, honestly,
those are the dudes.
He's not necessarily like an insult type. I think he gets like he's been criticized too much for these things.
No, you remember what I said before about my shit? I maneuver in the incel community.
Yeah,
like my content is 100% floating in the on incel screens.
Yeah,
that's what's going on. I'm not like I don't make trad wife content in like a 50s outfit and talking about how I'm gonna make bread today. That's not gonna go to the incels, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about, hey, this game, am I right? This video game, oh man, this video game. That's incel content, dude. Like, not everyone that watches it, not even 50%.
Yeah.
But there's definitely fucking incels that look my shit up.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan, same thing.
Yeah.
So,
right, yeah. I mean, I guess when you have such a large pool of viewers, you get a bit of everything, right? So,
of course.
Yeah. And mostly men, of course. I mean,
Yeah,
most
but that's
men
the
watch YouTube. I think 70% of YouTube is male viewers.
Yeah, dude. If I'm going to show you my male and female ratio, literally 99% is male.
Oh wow.
Literally, dude. So I think my mom and my wife are the only ones that are female.
Okay.
And we, yeah.
Cool. Well, shall we wrap it up?
Yeah, man. All good.
So where can people find you?
TheJan. TheJan 11. That's really it.
On
Anywhere.
the Jan 11.
At this point, I'm a big shot.
Okay.
TheJan.
Cool. The Jan.
The
Jan
Jan.
11.
TheJan.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. This was fun.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's do it again sometime.
Hell yeah.